yeah, it totally sucks to get completely dismissed because you don't have gaming experience. And let me tell you why that's important, or at least why people think it's important. And maybe you have to convince them otherwise. Or maybe you realize you need to get more gaming experience and esports experience. But I would say the general thought is that people in esports and gaming have such unique and interesting perspectives that are missing from every other industry, that we have our specific unique problems that are so special to us only and no one else understands. And work is really hard. We work harder than everyone else in the different all these other crappy industries that everyone's so proud of, but esports is really special. Hopefully you can get my sarcastic tone from this, but that's really, I think, what a lot of people think, and why a lot of talent is recycled that maybe shouldn't be. I haven't really run into that. I've worked with really great people, and I've only been in the industry like working full time in the industry for 2 years now. Golden Guardians has done a good job in hiring people in esports and hiring people that are outside of esports that are esports friendly or gaming friendly, right? I do think there's some legitimacy to my little sarcastic rant there, because we do have problems when it comes to how startup-y it feels, how casual the vibe feels, how our audience is kind of different from other industries where it's not as professional, right? I could put out a really crappy, stupid looking meme that really hits home and then like feels really authentic to our audience. Versus if you did that for like a Lush Cosmetics, could you imagine Lush Cosmetics putting out a social media tweet that has like mismatched fonts and like copy and paste a logo that doesn't have a transparent background? Like that would not fly in the makeup and beauty industry. Like no way, right? So that's where like it's really important to know who your audience is, especially if you're engaging with the audience of esports gaming. And even in gaming, the Fortnite audience, the League of Legends audience, the Dota audience, the um, Hearthstone audience, the StarCraft audience, they're all similar, but they all really do have their unique identities. Even like when we talk about the fighting game community is so different from League of Legends, but it's actually really similar to the NBA 2K audience, right? There's a lot of overlap there, but they're still unique audiences. They still speak a little differently. They still digest content, have different streamers, different influencers. So that's why, like, depending on what your job is, it can be really important to know esports. We have a video editor that is not familiar with League of Legends and started playing a little bit, but doesn't even have like maybe I don't think has even passed like level 5 or level 10, and he makes great video edits for us and awesome hype trailers and is really good at storytelling. But then like when it comes to gameplay stuff, he needs to rely on some other people because we need to be like, oh, this is not a fancy play. You're showing the wrong thing. It's actually really impressive, and people are talking about this play because of the support flashing in and putting on this crazy luck shield from halfway across the screen to save the 80 carry. Not that the 80 carry got away is a special thing. It's like what the support did, right? So those kind of nuances in video editing, he's able to cover up with his lack of esports experience because of the team that we have, but his strengths so outweigh the weakness that it's perfectly acceptable, and I would not ever want to replace our video edit. If you're accounting and finance, like do you really need to know like how the fighting game community talks? Probably not. We need someone that knows finance and accounting, right? And maybe there's some things when it comes to partnerships, we need people that know how to do sponsors and partnerships and have those relationships, but they really need to also know like at least know well enough how the gaming community thinks, what works with them, what doesn't work with them. When we're like saying like, "Hey, let's do a Nectar commercial where the two players are talking about all like we want two players to sit down in an interview style and talk about the great features of the Nectar mattress. Like this is a true story." And we're like, no, no, that's a horrible idea. And if we want to do that, we're gonna do it like really, really ham it up like crazy, make it really funny, really like authentic, and almost making fun of the Nectar mattress maybe. That's like the only way you could do it. But the Nectar's like, no, we don't like that. Those are my thoughts about gaming and esports experience. That being said, if someone has the exact same resume as yours, but they show that they've worked in esports and gaming, or they have a good understanding of how Twitch works and the ecosystem, I'm definitely gonna pick them if every all else is equal, because it's a cultural fit to esports and to job and to our company better. So I think it's gonna be really important if you're lacking those esports and gaming stuff to somehow find that, right? And that's gonna unfortunately be probably volunteer work, right? That could be, maybe you can get lucky and find some type of paid work with like an influencer or a streamer or being even a mod in chat and like getting involved in, making their Twitch clips and those kind of things. Like somehow getting involved so you know how to speak the language and have something to put in your resume can be really, really important. And that's something I've done. I've definitely gone out of my way to do really crappy volunteer jobs because I'm like, I need to put an esports organization on my resume. Even if it's an esports organization that doesn't exist 6 months from now, I need to be like, I work in esports and I've dealt with some of the problems in esports because I know esports cares about that.